ningewasihi wale ambao bado wako nje wakaribie ndani, kwa sababu tunataka kukaa kuanza. Utaratibu ambao tunaifuata, kiti hiki hii ya mbele itakuwa inside, itakuwa ya wanakwaya. Naomba wanafunzi wote wakae na walimu kwa hii side. Sisi kama wasasi tutakaa vile tumekaa, na ningeomba mchongee mbele. Songeni mbele kiasi. Songeni mbele kaini, songeni mbele kiasi, ili wale ambao watakuja nyuma yetu waweze kupata nafasi pale chini. Piki omi sangi na ngesoma onge bwani na mugima ginami amun. We are getting late. We are very late by almost half an hour. If we are not very careful, it will affect our wanafunzi. Karibuni sana. Chongea mbele, chongea ndani, chongea ndani. You can leave your bags behind the way we amewacha yake. Get in kindly. Yes, you can leave your bag at the back. Yes, hivyo. You can leave your bag there. Yes. Can we occupy the front seats? Can we occupy the front seat? Yes, karibu sana. Naomba wasasi wote tukae pande hii. Wasasi wote tukae pande hii. Wanafunzi na walimu tukae hii side. Alafu wanakwaya watakaa kwa upande wangu wa kulia. Wageni ambao maybe watatutembelea pia tutawatafutia makao. Naomba wakati kisi kama unanisikia, chongea mbele. Aweze kutufungulia kwa maombi. Josia, our catechist, chongea mbele ili tuweze kutufungulia kwa maombi. Tunaomba our catechist, Josia where you are, kindly chongea mbele utusaidie, utuongoze kwa maombi, then we start. Our catechist, karibu sana, utuongoze kwa maombi ya kufungua. Anapokuja ratiba ambao tunaichukua, tumechelewa. We had agree 9 to 9:30 we were to the arrival of the students, teachers and the parents. 9:30 to 10:15 we were to have a motivational speaker. Now when I check my watch, it's already 10, so which means we are late by half an hour, and the mass was supposed to start 10:15. So I don't know how far we will be able to go, but nevertheless 10:15 to 10:45 we'll have the Holy Mass. Maybe I will request our priest maybe to give us back at 10:30. 11:45 to 12:05 we will have student presentation, then speeches. We will have student representative, class teacher, DOS, deputy principal, 2 parents, BOM, PA representative. Then we'll also have award, cake, and a photo of thanks. We'll be able to alter kidogo the program because the issue of cake, we'll be able to cut it hapo nje because hiyo ni outside our mass, tutakata hapo nje. Before then we kukata keki, tutakuwa na mass, tutakuwa na group photo among our students, the teachers and the parish priest. So karibu sana our catechist, utufungulie kwa maombi.
Ongesa en kainetab kwanda nebo werit ak nebo atondoyet netilil man. Korogen boisiet nyon atondoyet netilil, yamun atondoyosiekab kaniguk ak inde chomyeng'ung. Iyogun atondoyeng'ung asikowalakis, asikowalak ng'weny. Ongesa cheptalet nekinet mugulelwokikab kaniguk en loboyetab atondoyet netilil. Kisomin kondoiwech atondoyonoton asikecham kotugul toretenyin. Kisomin en Kristo ne Kiptaiyat nenyon man. Ngolosno Baba, ngolosno Kwerit, ngolosno atondoyet netilil. Den ngunon ak ekosiek tugul ak achulya man. Kiptaiyat cheptalel kamuktoindenyon nemi kipsengwet ak kimi kobotech en karononi. Kakibwan taing'ung asikobit kora kewekun kongoi amun en ripseng'ung ak chomyeng'ung noton ko riribech agoi betuni. Kiwekun kongoi Cheptalel amun kaimutwech kakebwan asikobit kora kesa kora akobo lagokyok chebendi kora koyoe kora tiemutik en kenyini. Kiptayat Cheptalel kisoe kele asikobit kora indoisechi icheket. Cheptalel kwandanyon akot en misa kora nebo betuni raini kosikobit kora indoisewech kakikurin kele asikobit kora itestai imi kobotech akoi kakesunet. Akot en program nemoe kotestai kosikobit kora inyon ak indoisewech asikobit kora kewekun kongoi ak ilosun kora ak kemwa kora kongoi en tuguk tugul. Kindoi tuguk tugul taing'ung asiyai kora kou en makeng'ung. Amun kisoe chutet koboto kongoi en kainetab Werit ak atondoiyet netilil. Amen. Karibuni sana.
Sorry, once again, let me take this opportunity on behalf of the parish priest, on behalf of the committee in charge of education, to highly welcome you to this very special day. Indeed, this is the day that the Lord has prepared for us. I want to take this opportunity once again to inform you that this is the day again the Lord has prepared. And as you see, I will be live on YouTube. We will be live on Emo. So I'm kindly requesting those who will be in, kindly let us sit well presentable. Those who will be taking readings, kindly I want to request that you be audio enough, be loud enough, so that we have everything right. Because of time, allow me to stand in on behalf of our motivational speaker, and I want to share with you some of the few issues that we need to understand as students, as parents, and as the BOM of Teganda Day. Madam Principal, most welcome with your board members. So I want to begin this side kindly. This will be for our choir, the student Teganda, and the teaching fraternity. They will be sitting here. Our dear parents will be sitting here. I want to kindly request again, kindly move forward, those who are sitting behind, so that wale ambao watakuja nyuma yetu watakupata nafasi ya kupata. Kindly move forward kidogo tu, let us move forward. Yes, you can leave your bag at the back, very safe. Thank you. Thank you so much. Allow me, Madam Principal, the POM present, the Deputy Head Teacher, the students, and the whole fraternity of Teganda. Good morning. Good morning once again. Let me begin by wishing you all the best in your coming examination. Let me take this opportunity on behalf of the priest to really wish you the very best in your forthcoming examination. Nevertheless, allow me also to mention my name. I'm Philip Terrer. I'm the chairman or the moderator in charge of education at our parish. So today, I want to share you some brief ideas or some of the information that we need to understand as we prepare for your examination. But nevertheless, when we attained independence in 1963, those who are doing history can attest to this. So when we attained independence in 1963, the government then had about 3 agendas that they were to follow. One of the key agendas then was to eradicate any disease, ignorance, and poverty. Today, we want to dwell more on ignorance because that will channel us to today's function, why we are here today. Because we want to understand that one of the key issues that we need to eradicate is ignorance. Kuren kipsigis abus natet. So yeginge name Uhuru in 1963, big history can confirm this. The Kenya government then ko gile ne kimage won mianwogik, kimage won abus na tet, agemache gistin amagistin pananda. Because of today, we want to dwell on one issue, the ignorance. In the Oxford knowledge, ignorance is the lack of knowledge or lack of information. Many a times we as Kenyans, many a time we as the students, many a times we as the people, we lack information. We lack knowledge. This knowledge need to be equipped. That's why you as the student, you have been in Teganda Day for 4 years. What the teachers has been doing when you are in Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, they were impacting knowledge on you so that you can become a very important person in the society. Nevertheless, again, allow me to quote some of the quotes of ignorance. And somebody say, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. If you think education is very expensive, try ignorance. It will be much more expensive than education. That is, in other words, we want to urge our parents, we want to urge our students that they need to get equipped with this knowledge so that every time they will continue in their life, they will be able to equip themselves with the knowledge. As I said earlier, in 1963, you remember the old system of the education. I don't want to dwell on that. 1963 onwards, it was 7-4-2-2. That is the old system. In 1984, then they start the 8-4-4 system. Now today, they are talking about the CPC. So, my dear brothers and sisters, what is education? One of the experts say, education is the most powerful tool that you can use to change the world. Education is one of the most powerful tools that you can use to change the world. You as students, we as parents, we take you to school. We want you to acquire that knowledge, that every time you go outside, you will be able to change the society. You will be able to change yourself. So, as I said earlier, that education is the process. It is a process of acquiring knowledge and skills. So when you are in Form 1, you acquire knowledge. When you are in Form 2, you acquire knowledge. And continuously, you have been able to acquire knowledge. I want to congratulate our teachers. They have done their best to ensure that you cover the syllabus. I am sure they have done so. So it is now upon you as a student, now that you are equipped with this knowledge, that you need to understand that you are now going for examination. But how do you prepare for exam? How do you prepare for exam? How do you prepare yourself for exam, for examination? One of the most key elements that you need to do as you prepare for your examination is to make a realistic revision schedule. You make a realistic revision schedule. I know your teachers has been able to cover all the syllabus. This short time that now remains, you make it real, attainable timetable that will allow you to revise what your teachers has been able to teach you. Number 2, you need also to customize your notes. Very many times, you have notes for Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, and Form 4. So by the time you want to prepare for exam, you have a voluminous notes. What I want to urge you, you customize those notes so that you will be able, within the shortest time possible, you cover your notes or you cover your syllabus. Number 3, you look for the past papers. I have realized repetitively the same or a very similar question is being said each and every year. However, sometimes they only twist a question. But if you want to do it deeper, it relates to the previous question. So the best you need to do now, go to your library, get the past question paper, make a discussion group, and you will be able to achieve. Number 4, take regular short break. Very many times you find most of the students, they are on books 24/7. It is a requirement also sometimes that you need to take a little bit of your time for a short break. Then you'll be able to come back again when you are more fresh. Then you'll be able to even to concentrate more on your learning. In the process of preparing for exam, because that's what we want to dwell on, why do most of the students fail in the examination? Number 1, lack of preparation. Many students only see the timetable and they are not prepared to do examination. So you need to prepare yourself adequately enough. You need to wake up very early in the morning. You can say a word of prayer, uombe, then get your book and you prepare for your exam. Can you imagine sometime you come to school, the bell has rung, already the examination is already in. You can imagine how you'll be tense when you're doing your examination. So get yourself prepared before you go for your examination. 2, manage your time properly. I know most of these questions sometimes it is 1 hour, 90 minutes, or 60 minutes, for example, 1 hour. So when you receive a question paper, you are told allocated time is 1.5 hours. And you know how many questions that you need to answer. So make sure you time yourself properly within the question and within the time, so that by the end of the time that you are allocated, you will be able to say, I have covered all questions. How many students nowadays, they leave examination room without completing some question? I want to plead with you. As you enter your examination, you can peruse the whole paper. Maybe let me say example mathematics. If question 1, you see you have a kind of difficulty in question 1, don't waste more time on question 1. Go to question 2. However, if you are able, if question 1 is leading to question 2, then you need to attempt. Very many times, most of the students leave some other question unattempted. At a time, examination irregularity requires that you attempt all questions. If you don't attempt anything, wanaitoa your marks. I don't know whether that is applicable today. During our time, if you don't attempt any question, wanaitoa marks, maybe 2 marks if you don't attempt. That is why one of the instructions wanasema attempt all questions. Number 3, read the instruction very carefully. Read the instruction very carefully. Very many times, as I said earlier, a number of students don't read the question to understand. They read a question and they also set their own question in their mind. Yani so many question, ako setting another question in the mind. Read the question paper properly, understand the question and answer it properly. For example, some other words say, state and explain. An example. State and explain. Tap, 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 tap. So you find a student, he understand. And a state to, but the question is very clear. State and explain. Point 1, you explain. Point 2, you explain. Point 3, you explain. And that is the way you can accumulate your marks. Number 5, avoid nervousness. When you receive your question, get composed. If you feel unatetemeka kiasi, relax. Take about 2 minutes, less than 5 minutes. Compose yourself properly, and then you sit down to answer the question. Because when you answer your question and you are very nervous, you tend to lose some points in mind. So reframe yourself. Take time, and then you answer all the question that is required. Qualities of a good student. Very many times we are also required as students to behave in a certain manner if you want to pass very well. One, you need to be self-motivated. You need to say, I want to achieve this, but how? You need to motivate yourself year in, year out. Every time you motivate yourself, you say, I want to pass this examination. So if you lack motivation within yourself, you will not be able to answer the question. So be self-motivated. If, for example, you give yourself a target, you say, I want to achieve A, for example. How do you achieve this A? You motivate yourself. I need to do this, I need to do this, so that I attain A. Set your target. If the time would have allowed, I would have asked, what do you want to attain? Many people would say A. But is that possible? If you are not prepared for A, you will not be able to achieve. So I want to ask you all that you need to set your target and you work towards that target if you want to achieve that. Number two, you need to be very responsible. Very responsible in the sense that you need to be self-driven. You don't need to be told, enda pale, examination time is over. Be self-responsible. If you know the time start 8:30, you need to be in class, even some half an hour too. When you enter that examination room, so that you don't get confused, avoid my discussion. Because I'm very sure before then, you have revised yourself and you are ready. Time management, the way I say earlier on, you need to be critical in thinking. You need to critically think about your question, about yourself. How do I achieve this? Every time you enter your class, be punctual. Punctuality. Punctuality. As I said earlier, we had agreed with your principal that we are supposed to be here from latest by 9:30. We are here late by almost half an hour. So the issue of punctuality, even in your examination, you need to be very punctual. Be in examination room an hour before or the latest 30 minutes before, so that you have adequate time to prepare yourself. You also need to be honest. What do I mean by honest? Very many students will believe in Mwakenya. Do you know Mwakenya? Do you know Mwakenya? What do we call it? Lugha ya mtaa wanaita panget. Ile wanaandika hivi. So that one, be honest to yourself. Don't attempt to carry any illegal material to examination room. Remember this. If you have prepared yourself very well, then you have in mind again, you need to refer some of the notes in your umeandika na umeweka hapa. You remember that, you'll not be able to concentrate. So I want to urge you, never attempt to carry any material that is not required in the examination room. Not even writing on your hand. Not even writing on your body. I remember one time when I was in JKUAT, there was a very young lady, very sharp in mind, but he was very also sharp in using Mwakenya. So the first 15 minutes given, he will use Mwakenya to answer all questions. Then anakula hiyo karatasi. That's killing evidence. You will not be able to see. So I want to urge you, let us all be honest to yourself and you answer the question correctly. I want to believe we'll be able to pass your examination. The last one is about, sometimes we have so many peer pressure among us the youth. As the student of Teganda, I want to plead with you. For this remaining time, avoid any, if you have tried one time, avoid any, and mark my words, any. Avoid any use of substance, alcohol, bang, and many others. These young people, they call it wachakoya. Avoid that thing. I'll come that before I end. Anybody who use any of that substances become influenced. So when he or she is in class, he will not be able to concentrate. So I want to urge you that as you prepare for this national examination, avoid any use of that substance, avoid use of bang, avoid use of avoid any use of this wachakoya. Before I come to the last one, allow me to share this with our parents. Eche kogi sigik ketinye responsibility agenge kerib lagochu ak kerib sigik ak kerib konetikyok. Kasi nekitinye kogi sigik ko eche kanyune konyolu kenai kele Teganda Day Secondary School, it is under our responsibility to take care. Mami chi age nenyone akotei Teganda Day the way they have done so. Eche kogi sigik, eche kogi board management chebo sukul. We need to take great care of Teganda. Asikor komi lagochu akichek, they have a very conducive environment. Pasoma ngomie. I am speaking this with a lot of confidence. En Teganda komi disco. Next ko center. You can imagine lakwenda kwa wako tien disco anatia kwa mass disco yani dance. Then the following day kuchapchike kwa ya exam. Then the following day kunyone ko somani. Olenen miti lagochu safe hands. Be about our center. It's a very good place for business. But that business Teganda should not affect the school environment. One of the requirements is a conducive environment for them to study. 24/7 kola le musiki en Teganda. 24/7 ketiene. 24/7 ko matapete wagat en Teganda. Kasartane o missing kamuna bunu yoto akase wagat nebo Teganda. Ingewache en Teganda akomi lagochu sukul. Can you imagine the disturbance nenyoru? Ibwatake kole ana sigikyu, ana negitupche and so many others. So eche kogi sigik anyun chebo Teganda, we need to have that in mind. Kerib sukul nebo Teganda en tuguk tugul chemokyinge lagokyok en sukul. Kerib sukulinyon amun echek chekemuche ketech. Amawekyi kongoi principal and the entire team. En kasit nemie en Teganda Secondary School. Eche kogi sigik, eche kogi board of management. Can we have that collective responsibility? Keger kele kokirib Teganda. Nebo mwisho. Kalia lagokyok sigik sikomi oret kila. Atebeno. Funding model nebo rabinik chebo sukul ko mami biik chekonu kobaten eche kogi sigik. The highest amount you pay 10,000 per year, madam. How much per year? School fees how much per year? 10,000? Madam, confirm this? 10,000? Ingot ko 10,000 chenyolu kelipan en kenyit in a day school. It is very embarrassing. Ako ngwan ne makimwoe. Every time, Monday to Friday, komi lagok kyok oret amun kakilenji osor rabinik. Don't get bangange. You can go to the principal of Gilenji, I am able to pay 3,000. Next month, 3,000. The other month, 3,000. Then, in the second time, koka itarabinik tukul. Kosoma lakwet kumye. We are very privileged amukin nye chai. Matinwe ka lakumat nye chai. Kitinye kay didiye. Kitinye maindio. Kitinye stekuro. Kitinye gishet. And many more. Ako temene ke liba rabinik. Do we value lagochu? I'm shocked. Do we those kiribe lagochu? Ongi tujenge kogi family, ongi tujenge kogi Teganda tugul ak lagok kesomane Teganda sigik kiba Teganda. Ak keger kele gilyonen asikobit kiste issue nombe noto log in everywhere. Ma Teganda neken everywhere. Even the other day, even I met them on the way last week. So, we have a great challenge keliban school fees. Bige chango lenen education is free. Papu sukule? Mwalimu has to be konyolu kelipan. Konetik alak ko kikisir under POM. Konetik alak ko kikisir sigik. Che konyolu kelipan. Kitinye kiboitinik kora chemi yoton. Nebo mwisho anyun. Biik chechang koyome kityo amun is a routine keyo. Maimukokse ngoyome Teganda nebo mut anan nebo lo. Komi chito netom koib result anan kotom koib chito certificate netai nekiyoten Teganda. Ko kiba ne koyai examination. If ngot kotinye madam nguni certificate cheten yu ak kelenen ongelipan sukul asikobit konyo. So iboru kole mabois certificate chon okikolipan rabinik anan ko kiyoe examination and they never paid. Amasomo ko kisigik. Ingobore yae lagochu examination 2 months after ko kakomong certificate. Konam lagochu certificate choton koboisien. As you prepare for yourself a final one, we want to start mass. Remain focused. Remain focused in everything ne yae chito. Agina ile where will I want to be in future? Alionen asobit asop. Yemangu results and yemangu results in December. You make a decision. If you will be very lucky to go to university, well and good. You may make university. That is not the end of the road. We have so many technical schools. Kitinye TFET, kitinye FCTs. Why don't we ask our people about the Lagochu Technical College? See, amune ba joni ke chang chegi mo ito singuni ko mage mo Lagochu tugul ko ba university. Magele ka kiyeten ko ba university. We want to wish them to go ba university. But the most important nowadays is the technical knowledge ne muche ko nyor up school. If you are not lucky to go to university, go to TFET, go to polytechnics. Get yourself something to do. Because if you can stay 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you are married off. At that early age, you can imagine what will happen after. I had an experience one time, mwalimu negiwe di technical, a lady. Tinye log angwan. But kiwa mwangole, amune banarane mi, kona na wa technical, aswabito authority, okay. Okwe, you have this opportunity. Ingobare mangu results, if you feel like going to further, well and good, move and move very faster. Amula by the side. Obo aikia ke tukul. Siko aronge nyoro boishonik chibaye unek. Ongen what is happening now? Even that you are if you are not very careful. Chita nyo kwa mene rabini ke mbonde tu. Ko chita ne bako komasin. Po ne biga bua ne lume akala ke chang. In Silibuetu, for example, ko minabare they call him Chuakali. I can't remember the name in the Baishin. Chawaya. Have you heard somebody know about Chawaya? There is somebody, let me tell me, the Missilibu about Chawaya. Casting in Tugul Kokoya wiring. Porta Tugul Koga Sinke auto. Piga Matato Tugul Koga Sinke simply because of that knowledge. Akotako kwe. Yobar Mangusu Sugul, go to Polytechnic, go to National Polytechnic. Akoya results. Never Musha, you know. As we wind up the year, we have agreed as the board about education that going forward each and every year we'll have an opening mass and a closing mass in Tamitaka. So Ganini timetable Teganda day for mass celebration. Then at the end of it again, at the end of the term, we'll come again for mass celebration. Amune seeking. We want Kimachi Lagochu Kosap Tugul. Not only education, but we want also go check spiritually. Because there is no need to stop la kwane kongom ako chorindet. Have you experienced that? Somebody who has scored a very strong person with that knowledge, but mwizi kwa serikali. So we want to have that holistic approach. E lagokyo. Kwa nai lagokyo gule yesiri kwa siri komie. Kemba ko siri kora emugulelda. Last but not the least, as I said earlier, we are live. We want to embrace the new technology in today. Came in life a literator media. Those who have smartphone, you can Google, YouTube, Aki sachen liteito. So we are live from there. We wanted to approach that way because we wanted to share the minimum resource that we have. All the Catholic sponsored school, we can share this resource through internet, through liteito, YouTube, TikTok, because we want to embrace the new technology. So every time we will be having mass, for example, in Teganda, it will be live. At a school will be able to see. Asoka bit kem nyakitu. Eche kanyu ne pamusha nyu kugisiki. Kugi board members. Let us sit down. Let us onge what kobo tuti gumye towards Teganda Secondary School. We are day school, they are doing better. They are doing the best. Example, Chibalungu boys at day school, but it's doing marvelous. Even the Teganda Day can also do better and become one of the best schools in Bomet County. I want to quote this, the last one, from Mother Teresa. The hands that gives is better than the limbs that give praise and prayer. Yani eune iko ito kale ko kararan ko sirguti ne tien ya ko gonu kala sunet kimoe Maria Mary Mother Teresa ne Calcutta. So onge yanyu embaishonik because kine kimoe chepyo sana ko kile monge tien kityo anan ko onge konun praise lakini onge yai ako dine cheng. The last quote I want to share with you ko gibunu Nelson Mandela, and he said, if you want to spoil the system of if you want to kill a society, you don't need a gun. If you want to kill a society, you don't need an arrow. But you mess up with the system of the education. Koka ibartat generation. Kimwagone. Ngoti macha ibaremet tugul ko malas maitinye bundugi. Ngoti macha ibaremet tugul ko malas maitinye gipchabo. Lakini par so manet koka ibarbijoto tugul. It's a wake-up call. The system of education that we have now, we need to embrace the CPC. We need to embrace CPC. You can imagine if we mess the system of the education, you kill the society. Can you say taman chimita sigi kyo ko lago chukara ko sigi? Going got ko manure knowledge niyame in so manenyuan. You can imagine the kind of society that will be there in the future. Mala mwachacha. Amachawe kwa gongoi ako amakwa kiaga tugulemie in your forthcoming examination. Thank you very much. I want to urge our choir, kindly Mr. Langan, Mr. Cheriot, call our choir so that we prepare for the name. So those who are taking the readings, get prepared very well. Those who will be taking Maombi, also get yourself very well. During the time of rotate, Madam Principal, you lead your school, rotate, you bring the stall fee, rotate after Sadaka. Then we can also chip in Gindo Wara Sikigi, Kiskoten, Madam Principal, as of it get a style Kunoton. Kolibuchi, Agoyone, Amachawi Kwagongoi, Bichugo itu, ko and Kainutik Yugi, Gura Philip Terrer, a chairman about education in parish. A chairman about education in parish. Maybe I'm going to be again, ko engine in Yone. Kimachegi Riki Logok, and North in Work to Gul. Kimachegi Riki Logok, a Misa, an angle yacht never cheap talent. Kimachegi Riki Logok, as or Manet. Kimachegi Riki Logok, Saiti, a soka bit Kunyaraki of enemy in by Shunakyo. Kogoromite made picture. Allow me, Madam Principal, to mention this. Kurum Teganda. Kurum Teganda Kapesa. Last week, there was a case. Very critical. So we don't want such to go on in society in Nyon. We want to wipe that being once and for all. Asoka bit kumi Teganda aginyoru de suguli Nyon kusuman lokyo kumye. Onge sochin konetik yok. Onge sochin serikali ne Nyon nebo Kenya. Onge sochin ematinwek yok tugul. Asoka bit konyor lagochu. Onge nde wara lagochu eut nebo kamuktoindet. Yeima gonome exam. Kogochi afya nemie kokochi mugulelwek chemiachen asikobit kotestai asikobit kotestai eng ng'olyot nebo examination. Nekoto motivation speaker nekokigeni ko allow me once again to wish you the very best. Thank you so much and God bless you.
Kanisani,